is to talk a little bit about junior regionals themselves and getting our children started, and then also talking about the actual organization of the event. It's a 2-day ordeal, and volunteers and things that are going to need to happen. So that's the purpose of tonight's meeting. Does that sound like a good plan? Yeah. Okay. Okay, does everyone have the agenda? All right, so the first thing that I wanted to share was how we get our children started. You know, actually there's another handout to, let's do this other handout. I think that'll help as well. Okay, so there's this handout here. For whatever reason, it's kind of cut off on the edge, but for today's purposes, it'll serve just fine, and I need one of those. Oh, never mind, I have one. Okay, so Junior Regionals is going to be a 2-day event. It's going to be on Friday and Saturday. And there is, if you'll look on this registration sheet here, it has all the events that are going to be featured for our children to participate in. Now, this is offered to schools statewide throughout Arizona and also to homeschoolers. So if you know any homeschoolers, it's my understanding that we're inviting homeschoolers. Okay. So you take a look at all the events, and the ones with the asterisks are early entries. So those you do in advance. So they're like the research papers, the poetry, the photography. Let's see, I think there's some computer things on here. Those will all be turned in early. And then there's academics that will happen the day of junior regionals, and then there's athletics that will happen the day of regionals, music, and then platform. So there's early entries, and then there's events that we'll be doing on Friday and Saturday. And I've also included in here this 2-page handout, this one here, and this is for parents and children to read through, and it's basically guidelines to get you started. I guess the first thing that I do want to note is if you look at the bottom of the registration form, in that first column, it says down at the very bottom in red, it says 5 possible early entries. So from that column, you can choose 5. And it's also the same for the second column. The red, it didn't print, it fell off the page. So we'll have to note that in there to fix that. And then the same with the third column. So the kids can register for a total of 15 events. So as you're going through the list and deciding which events you want to do, use this checklist here to help in your preparation and your planning of your events. And then ACE also has a couple resources that I want to point out that are available online. And if you need access to those, I'd be happy to print out the criteria from that handbook if you can't get on the internet. So we have here the Student Preparation Handbook. And inside the handbook, you will find the judging criteria for each one of the entries listed on the registration page. So if you're interested in doing, let's see for early entry, you want to write a short story. So what you would do is you would go to the guidebook and you would look up what the criteria are for short stories. And then that's what they're going to be judging on. So that's how you'll want to write your short story. And the same with all of the events. It's all here in the guidebook. And I do have one more handout. Let me see. And I only have 5 of them with me, but like I said, it's available online. And it's the first 3 pages of the handbook. And I thought it was really cool because it lists the contents. And then also here is this chart where you and your child can fill out which events you're interested in doing. And that way you can see it in writing, and then you know where to put your energy. So I just thought this was a good tool, and I wanted to bring it out and show all the parents and the students. Does anyone else need one? I have one extra here. No? Okay. So I know it's a lot of reading material, but I just was able to, I thought that these tools would be useful in helping identify events and where to go to get the information, for the judging and what the judges are going to be looking at. And as always, if you have any other questions, Pastor Nancy, I think is a pro at regionals. So, all right, are there any questions? No questions? Good deal. So we just went through the first 3 items on the agenda. The 4th item was the judges sheet and the guidelines. And I gave the website address for the judges sheets. Those are required to, when you do your entries, your early entries. You'll need to print those out. Do you have anything to add regarding that?
If they can't get it, we can get it at the school. If they can't get it from home, the judges' forms and stuff like that,
Yeah.
we can print them off from school.
Okay, yeah. So if you need help printing any of this stuff, just let me or Pastor or Miss Nancy know, and we'll certainly help get the forms that you need. All right, so the second half of the meeting that I wanted to go over was volunteers. So we're inviting, I think, 20 other schools. So hopefully we'll have, I think a nice goal would be to have 50 students here participating in our junior regionals. Is that about?
Yeah, I'll say between 50 and 75.
Okay, so we're going to have a lot of people here. The plan is that we're going to provide lunch and dinner. And so with that being said, we're going to need volunteers. We're going to need volunteers to help with food service, cooking food, donating food.
Why don't you give them the menu?
Oh, you know, I didn't bring it.
Huh?
I didn't bring it.
I do,
Okay,
I got it.
okay. So I can tell you the menu. We're going to be having, so the first part of Junior Regionals is going to take place at Heritage Park, where we'll do the track events, we'll do archery, we'll do, volleyball, basketball, long jump. We'll be doing all of that, those activities at Heritage Park. So we're going to do hot dogs and hamburger lunch.
Here's the menu.
All right. So we need someone who likes to grill hot dogs and hamburgers. So we'll be doing that at the park. And then for dinner that night, we're going to have the taco bar with a dessert, probably brownies. And then Saturday for lunch, we will be back here at the church for Saturday at lunch. So we'll need sloppy joes and macaroni and cheese, and then dessert. And then for dinner that evening, we're going to have spaghetti and garlic toast. So that's the plan for the food. So, you know, I would like to send a piece of paper around for everybody to sign in and to leave a contact phone number or email would work too. And I'll go through, well, the volunteer opportunities are on the agenda. And if there's something that you really enjoy to do, go ahead and list that by your name. That way, because some people don't like to be outside, so they'd like to do something that's inside. Or some people don't want to handle food, but other people love it. So if there's a preference in any way that you could volunteer, then note that next to your name. Is my notebook there?
Make sure you repeat any asked questions. I'm getting emails from other people that are watching this.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Well,
Okay?
okay, cool. Yes.
When do you need the list for the volunteers by? When do you need the volunteers, when do they need to decide by when?
Oh, like what they'd like to be doing? Oh, just whenever. I would say we need to have a pretty good base in the next couple weeks. That way we can start, you know, getting people up to speed on and who we have and, you know, how hard we're all going to have to work. Because the more volunteers we have, you know, the more we can kind of share the workload. So,
You got a question over there. Hang on just a second. Hang on.
okay, yeah, and we're,
Yeah, I know we do. Ask the question.
Are the high school students gonna be involved?
yes, the high school students are going to be involved.
Mandatory.
Mandatory. Okay. Yeah. I think you know, the high schoolers,
It's not, I'm on. I got the green light.
Hello?
Yep, now
Oh,
you're
we're on. High school students, it's mandatory for them to volunteer.
Yes.
It's part of their, well, yeah, not curriculum, but they get a credit for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so high schoolers get credit for this. All right.
coming. I'm coming.
It's not really a question, but I've done junior regionals before with Pastor, and I've been part of the awards, so I could help get those all set up, like write on them if we have to write on them, or get a slideshow up about them, or set them up and how they need to be handed out. So if you need help with that, I can do that too.
Excellent, you got it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
She'll work in master control. I didn't do it.
I think we have the awards already.
No,
We're not using those ones?
no, we gotta have 500 awards,
Oh, that's right. The first, second, third.
4th and 5th.
Yeah. You need something that has a time on the back so you can write what they
So
got.
am I ordering from where we,
I don't know yet.
because
We're looking.
I have looked at them and they're really inexpensive.
No, we're not gonna have medals, we're gonna
I
have
know that, but
ribbons.
the ribbons. I
Buck a
looked
piece.
at- No, they weren't.
Yeah, they are.
At the China Oriental.
Oriental trading.
Dollar and, it was like $1 and some cents a piece, wasn't it?
No, they're like 30 cents, 40 cents
Yeah,
each.
they're under $1.
They're like 34 cents with custom printing and with the tag that she's talking about.
That's not bad.
No. And it takes a month to get them back, so we'll be putting that order in pretty soon. I gotta do some shopping around and see what the best deal is.
I can plug one in myself.
Oh, that's true.
Question.
Yeah, that's true.
2 questions. One, are you going to want audiovisual support?
That night. We may wanna, we may do some, audio video for certain events, but not, but the night rallies, we want that. Yeah, we want that streamed.
Okay, and what are the general hours of the event?
What's that?
What are the general hours of the event?
We should be, I'm hoping to have the rallies done by 6 o'clock at night, from 5 to 6 o'clock. And we should be done,
Okay.
okay?
You know, maybe we can just take a minute and introduce ourselves. I know a lot of the faces, but I don't know names to go with faces. So let's take a minute and do that. I'm Cherish Medlock, and I have my 2 boys, Jesse and Trenton, and my husband, Russ, in the orange. My kids have been coming here for a couple years, so we have...
That's in California.
That's how we're involved. You want to go next?
Nancy Holcomb, I'm the administrator here, newly appointed administrator, and you all know me, hi.
I'm Kevin Holcomb, her husband. And I'm Russ in the orange, sorry, loud. My name's Philip Ortega. I'm father of Braden and Michael Ortega over here.
I feel sorry for you.
And I run these guys.
And you are?
I'm Christine Lawson. I'm Cyrus's mom.
Christine, and who is Braden's mom?
Jessica.
Jessica. Okay.
All right. Yeah, my name's Tuck Allen. Cynthia is my wife, and Molly is our granddaughter. She goes to school here.
Robert and Brittany Gray, parents of Bentley and Bailey.
I'm Cindy Powers, and I'm a teacher here.
I'm Melanie Mortensen, and I'm the supervisor in the Lower Learning Center.
Yeah, I'm the little one.
Hi, I'm Lila. Of course, it backfeeds on me. Lila Parkerson. I'm a new teacher this year.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. It's nice to have a name to go with the faces. I know we're a small group, but I think that's important. You know, if you're going to be working together, you need to know, everyone needs to know your name. So, okay, so yes, the high schoolers, Nancy, I'd like to have some time, I don't know, after school or something, when I can come in and kind of talk with them and see what their interest is and where they'd like to volunteer. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Because most of them have experience in the junior regional, so they would be able to help with the little kids.
Where's the microphone? Don't talk without the microphone.
So they,
Serious, we got people watching.
Where were we?
we're talking
yes.
about the high schoolers.
The high schoolers, that way we could find out where they're gonna partake in the events, because they all have experience with junior regionals. So they could help the little kids, help them pick their events, help them start their events, help them work on their events. We give them time to do that. And they can also help with the setup and everything. It's gonna be mandatory, so.
Excellent. Pastor, do you want to talk about fundraising?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll turn this over to Pastor.
One of the things that we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to come up with some money. I hate to always be the bearer of bad news, but it does cost to operate this thing. We're gonna need operating capital, number one, for sports equipment. We've got some basketballs. We need a couple more. We need some volleyballs. We need, we're gonna have to get rent a limer to lime a track so that we can run track and stuff. So we've got a lot of things that are overhead costs that we're gonna have to come up with. So I'd like to take and see us if we can do some fundraisers. Now, we're kind of underneath the gun right now in that we've only got about a month and a half to go before it happens, actually about 2 months. And so one of the fastest way of making money is car washes. We can usually make about $300 to $400 a day washing cars. And so if we can make about $800 and get $800 a head, we're going to be in pretty good shape. Because once registration comes in and things like that, that money's going to be there to help oversee everything else anyway. So, but we are going to have a little bit of overhead. We just bought a new ping pong table. It's right back there. So we got a ping pong table now for them to use, and the kids can practice on that. And we're going to use that for both junior and for regionals. We've also got, I picked up a couple volleyballs the other day at a rummage sale, and so we got a couple, but we're going to have a few more. One of the big things that I'm looking for is coaches. I need some coaches. I need people who, if you have any idea how to hit a volleyball, you can be a volleyball coach, because the kids aren't real. The girls aren't real aggressive. But if we could take and get somebody that could just show them how to hold the ball to hit it over the net, I think we'd be in pretty good shape. Then also I'm looking for someone to help with a 3-on-3 basketball team. I've got a coach, and I do have a coach, I hope, and I'm looking live streaming right now. In fact, I just got hang on just a second. Let me see what it says. That's one thing that's nice about this. It says, oh, good. You know what? Cool. We got a volleyball, and we have a, see, this is what I like about electronics. We have a volleyball coach and a basketball coach. However, we can use an assistant too. So if you're interested in helping, that would be great. Because if you're at all interested, the reason I'm saying this is I'm getting texts from California there's a family that are moving out here the 1st of September, and they want to be involved in the school in a big way. And so they're watching us right now live stream. We're live streaming this on Facebook, and they're watching us in California, and then they're texting me their questions, and so, which works out really well. But so we've got a coach, we got a basketball coach, we got a volleyball coach, and then I just need a couple assistant coaches to help out with that, because with little kids, you always need at least 2 coaches. And then we also need somebody to be able to show them how to run down a straight line. And yeah. And well, see, actually, I was thinking after this morning, I was thinking about having my little dog Lucy do this. And because I'll tell you what, she'd made one straight line out for the road, and we live about a block and a half from the highway, and she ran right out on the highway. I mean, it was unbelievable. I thought, go ahead, get run over. I don't care. I'm tired of chasing you, dog. I hope a semi hits you twice. I mean, that's just, I mean, I came in this morning, I was wet. Yes, sir.
By the way, somebody's texting on Facebook, Corey. He has one question about, they try to have entry for NBA for every event.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Oh, you got it, okay.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Good. We got another coach. Cool. All right. So we've got a husband and wife team that's going to take and help coach. But if you do want to help, believe me, we can always use you. Right, Brittany? Oh, no, she's shaking her head no. Anyway, but okay, what I do need is this, is once we get a track set up, we're going to be setting a track up down at the park, and we have to teach these kids how to run in a line, stay in their line. Yes, sir.
As far as needing assistance and coaching and things like that, what's the expectation out of it? Because, so what I'm getting at is, we leave for vacation October 19th.
What's that?
We leave for vacation for a week.
Where's the microphone at? I can't hear him. Where's my mic
That
guy?
microphone.
Go ahead.
So, I was just curious on the coaching side, because I would like to help, but we leave for vacation on the 19th, so I wouldn't be able to be a part of the,
Right. What time do you get done work at night?
it varies. I can usually be done and probably down this way no later than 6.
Well, there could be times when we may have to do it on Saturdays.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm on every other Saturday,
Sure.
so I can,
And so we'll work in your schedule, believe me.
okay.
And because most of this is like the little ones like Molly and stuff like that who've never run in a race before, and getting them to okay, this is your lane. You have to stay between this line and this line when you're running. You know what I mean? And then you have to run from this point to this point just as fast as you can run. And don't stop. Just keep running. Even if grandpa and grandma and mom and dad are yelling, oh, go, go, don't stop and look at them. Just keep running. You know what I mean? And so we did this a couple years ago down in Tucson. And it was so funny because the little ones, they're out there, and man, they're all ready to go. And they take off running. All of a sudden, mom and dad are alongside the track. They're going, go, go, go. And one little boy stopped. Hi, Dad. And I mean, so you just got to take and teach them, to keep running, keep running until you go across the finish line. We also have to take and set up a track. As you can see on the events, we've got 25-yard or 25-meter. We have, I think, a 40-meter. We have 100-meter, and we're going to have a 200 and 400-meter track so that we can run a relay. And so we got some track that we have to come up with, because we're not going to be on a track. We're going to be in a park. And so we're going to have to take and be a little bit
Creative.
yeah. But I love the public schools around here, don't get me wrong. but boy, I'll tell you what, they sure charge an arm and a leg. You know, they want $60 an hour to take and rent the track for a Friday, or, you know, on a Saturday.
Yeah, but isn't that public property?
Huh?
Isn't that public property? Doesn't the taxpayer pay for that track?
It doesn't matter.
Really?
They charge everything. I mean, so we were gonna have it for like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, that's $300. That's a lot of money. And so, you know, we'll only have maybe 25, 30 kids running, you know. And so I just can't cost justify that. So I came up with the idea of doing our own. You know, I'm very ingenuitive when it comes to things like that. But, so it's gonna work out really, really well, I think, once we get it all done and that. But that Thursday, we're gonna have to set everything up down at the park. We're gonna have to set up the tracks, we're gonna have to set up archery. By the way, I need somebody who knows how to shoot archery. Does anybody have any idea Kevin. Kevin knows how to shoot archery. All right. Hey, you know what? We just got a archery coach.
That's good. I'm out on an elk hunt,
Yeah.
so I can't help.
What's that?
I'm out on an elk hunt for the whole week.
Hey, what is more important, Ross? Hey, let's go elk or, you know,
Hey, I've waited 7
Elk.
years for this draw, so.
yeah, right. Well, I just had a call from my daughter a little bit ago, and she said, Dad, she says, I'm at all eyes. So what's the matter? She says, well, my boss emailed me today, and he has 6 tickets for the Packers opener. And he wanted him and his wife and I and my husband and his boss and his wife, all 6 of us were going to go. And so this was the regional manager and the district manager and my daughter that were going to go to the Packer game. And so she says, we're going to be gone. We're going to Colorado then. And I said, well, there goes your promotion. But anyway, so she says, yeah, I know, I'd like to cancel my vacation. I said, well, that's all right. But anyway, so, so we've got somebody to do archery. We've got bows. We just got to take a look at the string on them to make sure that they're okay. If not, we'll get them restrung. And I know one of them has to be restrung. It doesn't have anything on it. And so we've got those. We got some arrows, and so we should be in good shape there. We'll just have to set up someplace to shoot it. Then, trying to think what else we got. Let's see. Yeah, that's exactly what, I just got a question. The question is, what about using chalk lines to separate runners? That's exactly what we're looking at, because I'm going to get a limer, you know, one of those liming machines, and you can rent them at A to Z Rental. I think it costs $25 a day. And so I want to get that on Thursday, get it all limed up on Thursday, and then we'll have it for Friday. Friday is all track and field. So all we need it for is just Friday, and then we'll have that. And then Saturday, everything will be here. The platform, we've got music, piano, we've got duets, we've got ensembles, we've got solos, we've got trios, duets. All that will be on Saturday. So we're going to have a full day Saturday of platform events, public speaking, and things like that. The Saturday is just going to be a jam-packed day, and I'm hoping that we can get judges from Maranatha, because the reason I say that is that, let's see. Goal month, I got another question. I'm getting all kinds of texts with questions. Believe it or not, we got quite a few people watching this tonight. But another one was, what's our goal amount for our fundraiser? If we can do $800, I think that would be good. $800 to $1,000 will cover our costs for us to get this thing underway.
I put the questions up there so everybody can see them.
What's that?
I'm trying to anyways.
Not quite big enough though.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's cool. Hey, that is neat. All right. And then, and I got another one that came in too. Let's see, question. Here it is. Hey, Pastor. Okay. Guess who that was? Hey, Pastor. Do you need someone to cook? Yes, we do. Yeah, we need somebody to cook. We need somebody to do a lot of stuff like that. Yep. We do need that. Yes, we do. So we do need cooks. We need service lines. We need all kinds of stuff. Because one thing nice about having the food bank, we do have plenty of silverware, or not silverware, but tableware and stuff like that. And so that we get that stuff free. And then we've got some of the food already put away. I always look ahead a long ways. And so I've got some hamburger put away. I've got chickens put away. I've got all kinds of stuff that I already have put away for this. And but that it's going to offset the cost quite a bit. But so now, does anybody else have any other questions as far as, oh, one thing I do want to tell you, I want to take in, if you are at all good in English, what I mean is, you know, if you read a story, can you tell where the punctuation's supposed to go, commas, and things like that? It doesn't have to be real good, you know, but it has to be pretty well. You know what I mean? You have to be able to read it to where it makes sense, and it can't be plagiarized. You know, kids nowadays, they are very intelligent, especially with a computer, where they can just copy and paste, you know. And even in high school, we're finding, you know, to where a lot of kids are just copying and pasting in their essays and things like that. And I just happen to have a computer program that I can run scan a paper, and it'll go through there and it'll tell me if there's any plagiarism in it. It's a really cool program. And so I use that for our high school, Michael. Remember that. And so, but anyway, but I need somebody to do that because we need early entry judges. That's so very important. Yeah, well, I know, that's one. But we got to have 3 for everything. Right. And so we need judges, and because we need photography. Photography is another thing that has to be judged. We're going to have I think we're going to have art coming in as early. Is that on there for early judging? I can't remember. I think so, yes. I know it isn't for regionals, but I think we did for here. No, it's not. It's not? It is? Okay. So that's all going to be sent in here for early judging. All that stuff has to be judged ahead of time. And so we need judges, you know, that can judge before this all takes place. All of the early entries have to be in by October the 15th. So that means that from October 15th until October 23rd, you can judge early entries. And so we need to get all those judged before then. Now, the early entries, if you look at them, it's essays, it's short stories, it's poems, it's computer, let's see, it's web designs and stuff like that. And so I'm hoping that we've got some people who can do web designs, because I'm a computer illiterate person. That's why I have people that do this, you know, right, Dana? And so, but anyway, so all this stuff all has to be done, and we need volunteers to do it. And I'll tell you what, I can't thank Cherish enough for taking the bull by the horns and doing this, because it is a lot of work. It is. I mean, I am not by any way, shape, or form saying that it's not a lot of work, because it is a pile of work, because she's just now getting started. And she hasn't scratched the surface yet. And because I'll tell you, and she's done a super job getting all this done already. And so once we get registrations in, once we find out how many schools we have, how many kids we have coming, then it's going to be hitting the road running as far as getting everything else together. And so let's see here. All right, good. I've got a web design judge. Praise the Lord. And another one? Oh, Dana said he would too. That's two. All right. All we need is one more. Good. All right. You know, I love this. This is great. But, all right. Is there any other questions? If you have questions along the way and stuff, don't be afraid to ask. Because, come on up here.
Well, I'd just like to make a statement here. If you guys will look on the entry form where the questions and the phone numbers are listed, my phone number is the last one there. And as you're looking through the early entries, you know, all of these categories that we're going to be needing judges for, if you know someone, you know, I am perfectly happy to give them a call and let them know what we're doing and see if they're interested. So you can, you know, you can either send them to give them my number. I mean, we all know a lot of people, you know, who can handle these different areas. So
Yeah, we just need people to be able to do it because doing essays, short stories, and poetry are three of the most time-consuming judging there is, besides social studies and science projects. Can't hear me? Oh. Science and social studies projects, when they bring them in their displays, you have to go through all of their documentation and everything to make sure everything's there. And it takes at least a day to take and go through and judge those science and social studies projects. In fact, at regionals, they bring them in on Monday. We start judging them on Tuesday, and we're usually not done till Wednesday night. It's usually Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night before we finish. And I have some really good judges there. I have professors and stuff that go through those things. And they are so good at judging that stuff. And so, you know, so, and this isn't something that we're just going to say, okay, yeah, that looks good and thing. We're going to actually judge it because you're going to have to put comments down and say, you know what, this is what I feel you could do better. You know what I mean? What's nice about it is, like if Braden does a science project, and there might be just something little in there that you see that he could done a little bit better. You can put that comment down on there, and just I feel that you could have done this a little bit better, but you did a good job, you know. And then the next time he comes and does it, guess what? He'll say, you know what? I remember last year they told me that I should do this here a little better, and they'll do it. Because what we're doing is we're starting to train our juniors to go to regionals. Regionals train them to go to internationals. And at internationals, you're competing with a venue around the world. The two internationals that we went to one in Las Cruces and went to one in Missouri. We met kids from 25 countries at least. I mean, all over the world. They're from all over the world. And I ran into one girl that had done a actually it was a pencil sketch. And it was the most beautiful pencil sketch I've ever seen in my entire life. And she looked at me and she started crying. And I said to her, I said, what's the matter? I said, that's a beautiful picture. She goes, yeah, but she says, I wanted to do it in color and I had no colored pencils. I mean, these kids are doing the best that they possibly can with what they have. And I mean, some of the things that are coming out of these other countries is unbelievable. And that's what we're trying to do, is train our kids that they want to do their best so that they can take and compete at internationals, compete at regionals, compete on the junior level. And that's what this is all about. And so I'm excited about it. I'll tell you what, we're going to have a good time. And so, has anybody got anything, you got anything else, Cherish? Okay. Any other questions at all? Any other questions on the internet? Yes, ma'am.
So, where would we do a car wash? Okay, so they do it here at the church?
I just got a question, what's the difference on the 3-on-3 basketball? There's not a whole lot of difference, other than you're using 3 and not 5. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my question is about the car wash.
Yep,
So that would happen here at the church?
I'm not sure yet, because I was just told not too long ago that anytime you have a car wash here in town, you have to get a permit. I have no idea how much the permits cost. If the permit's gonna cost us more than what we're gonna make on the car wash, we're better off to have it in Coolidge.
Okay.
So, I personally, we're gonna have to look at that, find out what that is. Because the city has changed all their rules here in the last year. You gotta have a permit for a car wash, you gotta have a permit for a rummage sale, you gotta have a permit for everything. And,
Where your water's gonna run off, where it's gonna go to now, everything.
yeah, so we have to take and, it's getting a little bit ridiculous, it really is. And so, we got a lot more freedom over in Coolidge than we do here. So, we can, we'll look into it and see what happens.
Is there anybody here that's interested in maybe coming up with some ideas for fundraisers, heading it up?
Well, I just got off the phone before we were here, and I talked to my daughter. They're doing a fundraiser in their school, and my son-in-law is the one who's putting together these, the cards themselves. What they did is they went out and they solicited all the businesses and got them, to tie in for a discount and stuff on their cards. And what they did is they, and so what they did is they do their own cards. And so the only upcharge they have is having them printed. And he's gonna send me one of their cards when they get it done. But they sell them for $10. They've got 24 different places and they're all local. What happens with a lot of these card places, you know what I mean, that they'll have places up in Mesa, that, they can have discounts at. Well, a lot of people never go to Mesa, you know what I mean? And so, but I asked her, I said, well, how much do you make on it? She said, well, our goal this year is $10,000. That's a lot of money. And they sell them for $10 a piece, and she said it costs them a little under $1 to have them printed and stuff. So, that's $9 profit. That's a pretty good deal. So, but we gotta have somebody who can do it. That's the problem. And somebody has time to go out to all the businesses and see if they're willing to buy on and get what they like to have on the card, and then get graphics on it and stuff like that, and get it into a printer and get the cards made up and stuff. There's a lot of front work to that, but it can make a lot of money. So, but I've come up, there's bake sales and different things like that. We've tried a lot of it, and a lot of it just doesn't. Another thing that works real well is rummage sales. We can make $300 or $400 a weekend on a rummage sale if we get enough stuff in. So, all right, any other questions? If you come up with ideas, please let Cherish know on fundraisers or anything like that, because we're open. I'll tell you what, we're really open for ideas. And, we come up with some ideas, but some of our ideas aren't real good sometimes. But all right, any other questions? Well, I want to thank everybody so much for coming. I think we're going to have a great junior regionals. I really do. And I'm looking forward to it. And I think the kids are going to have fun. We need to realize that this isn't for us, it's for them. And it's going to help them down the road. It's going to show them that they can compete. They can do different things. One of the things that I've, over the years, had criticism on is that we don't have enough in our school for our kids to do. You know, there's not enough, you know, in our school for them to do. Well, this is one thing they can do. You know, Regis is another one. You know, we started the trap and skeet. We've got, for our size school, we got a lot going on. We really do. And so if you have any ideas of anything else that we can do or anything like that, let me know. I'm ready for it. All right, here, let's see what this one is. Whoop, lost that one. Let me get that one. Let's see. Is there a limit to how many events each student can participate in? On the form, there's 3 columns, and each column, they can pick 5 events in each column. So the maximum amount that they can compete in is 15. Okay? That's how many Michael's going to be competing in this year at regionals, 15. All right, let's have a word of prayer and we'll be dismissed. Father, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you for all you've done for us. I pray now that you'll guide and direct us. Be with us as we go our various ways. Bring us back safely to our appointed place tomorrow night for church and also for Sunday. We thank you for loving us. Thank you for the school. We thank you for the parents. I just pray, Lord, that you take and be with them, help them, guide them. Help us as we continue on with this regionals now. We just pray that it'll all be for your honor and your glory. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, you're all dismissed. Thank you so much for coming. I had a good group tonight.